30 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Time for us to check in with Sean McBride. Well, I can't do that this week. I know. You know, I usually do my Irish accent to do Sean McBride, but even though it's St. Patrick's Day, apparently his clan wears purple.
We purple. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they wear purple there in Ireland.
All right, I'm going home. We're done.
Yeah, he's over it.
Now that I've called him out, he's done.
Yeah,
all is forgiven.
I intended to wear green.
You did.
I know
Had
you
some
did.
problems,
Well, listen, I was telling her, you know, there are a lot of colors that are pretty readily available in a closet.
Yeah.
Green is not one of them in mine. I mean, I had to find a green tie, and that was about it. I don't have a green shirt.
Yeah.
Certainly don't have a green jacket because I haven't won the Masters yet.
Yeah.
So that's the only way I'd get it, to have a green
I would
jacket.
think maybe a common, like a darker green, army green color might be more popular among the male species.
Well, you did well today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tried.
You did well today. You
I tried.
represent. I know, like I say, the time, but you're always forgiven if you bring us movies worth watching next weekend, because it's going to be a cold weekend.
You know, I do think they're good. I don't think they're great this weekend, but it's one of those weekends. You know, it's interesting. This, particularly the first one, which is Shazam: Fury of the Gods, was originally supposed to come out years ago, but COVID pushes it. It was supposed to come out at Christmas. It got pushed. Those are good indications that it did not track. It didn't do quite as well as they were hoping it was going to do.
Yeah, that's never a good sign, is it, if they keep pushing it back. So what's problematic about this film, from your point of view, that would have made them do that?
So it's not that there's anything problematic. If you remember the first movie, in 2019, I want to say, it was notable. I mean, honestly, the story wasn't anything special. It was an superhero origin story. But it was notable because you have Zachary Levy, I can't say his name, coming in, and he's this superhero. You have a young 14-year-old boy who, when he says the word Shazam, turns into the superhero, basically a Superman character. And Zachary was just so good at playing that 14-year-old sense of wonder and insecurity in this grown-up superhero body. It was funny, and it was also notable for the family bonding. The kid is an orphan looking for his mother, finding a foster family. That was very sweet emotionally. So people really like this first movie. Yeah. This second one, they're trying to do more of the same. They do more of the same, but they kind of fall short of the mark this time around. So look, I mean, once again, we have a story. This time the daughters of Atlas are coming, and they're bringing their dragon, and they're going to take over the world. And it's Helen Mirren, it's Lucy Liu, it's Rachel Ziegler. You know, it's a bunch of characters here that are just kind of disposable bad guys. This is not a story that's really worth saying anything about. But I do still like the humor. It's got a goofy little sensibility to it. I do like the family first aspect of this. Remember, minor spoiler, but at the end of the first Shazam, the entire family becomes Shazam.
Which you see pretty readily in the
exactly.
trailer.
So it's the Shazam family, the Shazamily, let's call it.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
But you know, it's interesting because, again, I was just telling Macy, she goes, "How did you know?" I said, "You have 3 grandsons that are 10 years old. There's no way you don't know Shazam is coming out this week." And I don't think they're going to care about any of the things to which you just spoke about. What they care about is the character, the continuation of their story, the idea, of this kid becoming a superhero.
Right, and this is, of all the superhero movies, and certainly of all the DC comic superhero moments, this one is aimed more at younger kids.
Right.
Whereas most of the, Batman and those gritty ones.
I mean, they were like, huh?
They were for older ones.
But this one is just self-explanatory. Yeah. It's easy to get.
And it's about family, and it's about kids. And so I think it works. I just don't think it works as well as the first time. That's always sort of the case for sequels. That's not really a knock on them, but they lose their sense of being fresh. And so it's okay. I didn't dislike it. I wish they had a stronger story. I wish they had better villains. I wish the special effects are kind of to me. But like you're saying, the humor, that weird adolescent sense of humor, that sense of wonder is still there. I like that.
And I guess my point being, it hits its target audience. It may not appeal to you as an adult, but to that target audience, it'll be right in their sweet spot.
It's expected to do about $40 million, which means they have kind of middling expectations
Yeah.
for it this weekend.
Right.
But the bigger thing is Warner Brothers has undergone a brand new executive shakeup, and it looks like they're kind of doing away with all the old stuff. And so you've heard that the Batwoman movie was shelved and stuff like that. So they still have to release these things. They have an Aquaman. They have a bunch of those. But this looks like this might be the last run for Shazam, unless it does very well at the box office, and then all bets are off, of course.
All right, so let's, there's 2 this week, right?
The
That'd be
second, second one is over on Hulu. It's called The Boston Strangler. Actually, I think it's just Boston Strangler. And this is the real life story of the 2 women crusading journalists who, they were women in the 60s. It means they were on the, the fashion and the women's issues beat. And this one woman in particular, Keira Knightley's character, wants to do something harder, wants to be a real reporter. So Chris Cooper, her editor, reluctantly assigns her to the story with another woman here. And it's their reporting that kind of goads the police into really tracking down this guy. They find a lot of the clues. It's a crime procedural, but it's really, the term Boston Strangler for the title might be a little misleading. It really should be the 2 women who put up with a lot of sexism to track down a murderer. That's what this is about.
Right. That's really the story.
That's the story.
Okay.
That's the thing here. And look, I think it's well done. I think the acting is good. I think the production design is very nice. It's set in the 60s, and of course they didn't invent color into the 80s, so it feels, it's one of these movies that's all desaturated. It kind of looks like a David Fincher movie. It's fine. It's great. On Hulu, so it's free if you have that service. I don't think it's setting the world on fire. That's kind of my feeling about both of these movies this weekend.
Okay, but still maybe worth a watch if you're home. And
certainly if you happen to be a journalist
Sure.
or a woman.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
might be some issues there.
If you're sitting there and you've gone, I've exhausted everything.
Yeah.
I want something new. I want to see something fresh. That might
Or
be.
also if you're a fan of real life stories, sometimes I think that can attract a lot of
Well,
folks.
The Boston Strangler is the 60s, and so I
Right.
mean, I wasn't born until the 60s, so
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Careful.
Do you have an alibi, Dan?
Careful.
So, I think this one's worth checking out. Like I said, just don't
Okay.
think it's a great movie. So, and maybe part of the reason that is this past weekend I got to see next week's movie this past week, and that is a great movie. So I'm
Which
looking
is?
at John Wick 4.
Okay.
There would be people who would argue that one too, but I won't go there till next week.
We'll talk
We'll
next
wait,
Friday.
we'll
We'll
wait.
have that
Yeah.
argument
Circle
about
back.
whether the Wake mood, John. That's for a whole different audience.
I think
So
I
for
know who will
another
argue with you.
Okay.
8:37. Sean, as always, comes by on Friday, clue us in on what's happening in entertainment. And this weekend is going to be one I think a lot of people will be looking for entertainment.
Wouldn't
with the
hurt, I'm sure.
temperatures.
Yeah,
for
hide
sure.
inside.
Winter's back. It's speaking of which, coming up next, we're going to find out exactly what we can expect. Ooh, that looks cool. Coming up next here on The Morning Show.